Matthew chapter 21. Now, when they drew near Jerusalem and came to Bethphage at the Mount of Olives, then Jesus sent 2 disciples, saying to them, "Go into the village opposite you, and immediately you will find a donkey tied and a colt with her. Loose them and bring them to me. And if anyone says anything to you, you shall say, 'The Lord has need of them,' and immediately he will send them." All this was done that it may be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophet, saying, "Tell the daughter of Zion, behold, your king is coming to you, lowly and sitting on a donkey, a colt, the foal of a donkey." So the disciples went and did as Jesus commanded them. They brought the donkey and the colt, laid their clothes on them, and sent him on them. And a very great multitude spread their clothes on the road. Others cut down branches from the trees, spread them on the ground. Then the multitudes who went before, those who cried out, saying, "Hosanna to the Son of David. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna in the highest." Oh, that's where it came from. And when he had come into Jerusalem, all the city was moved, saying, "Who is this?" So the multitude said, "This is Jesus, the prophet from Nazareth of Galilee." The prophet. Okay, I can see the context of that. Then Jesus went to the temple of God and drove out all those who bought and sold at the temple, and overturned the tables of money changers and the seats of those who sold doves. And he said to them, "It is written, 'My house shall be called a house of prayer,' but you have made it a den of thieves." Then the blind and the lame came to him in the temple, and he healed them. But when the chief priests and scribes saw the wondrous things that he did, the children crying out in the temple, saying, "Hosanna to the Son of David," they were indignant, and said to him, "Do you hear what these are saying?" And Jesus said to them, "Yes, have you never read? Out of the mouth of babes and nursing infants you have perfected praise." Then he left them and went out to the city to Bethany, and he lodged there. Now in the morning as he returned to the city, he was hungry and saw a fig tree by the road. He came to it and found nothing on it but leaves. Said to it, "Let no fruit grow on you ever again." Immediately the fig tree withered away. And when the disciples saw it, they marveled, saying, "How did the fig tree wither away so soon?" So Jesus answered and said to them, "Assuredly I say to you, if you have faith and do not doubt, you will not only do what was done to the fig tree, but also you will say to this mountain, 'Be removed and be cast into the sea,' and it will be done. Whatever things you ask in prayer, believing, you will receive." Now when he came into the temple, and the chief priests and the elders of the people confronted him as he was teaching and said, "By what authority are you doing these things? And who gave you this authority?" But Jesus answered and said to them, "I will also ask you one thing, which you tell me. I likewise will tell you by what authority I do these things. The baptism of John, where was it from? From heaven or from men?" And they reasoned among themselves and saying, "If we say from heaven, he will say to us, 'Why then did you not believe him?' But if we say from men, we fear the multitude, for all count John as a prophet." So they answered Jesus and said, "We do not know." And he said to them, "Neither will I tell you by what authority I do these things." Ooh, there was really no way out of that one. Well played, sir. But what do you think? A man had 2 sons, and he came to the first and said, "Son, go work today in my vineyard." He answered and said, "I will not." But afterward he regretted it and went. Then he came to the second and said likewise, and answered and said, "I go, sir." But he did not go. Which of the 2 did the will of his father? He said to him, "The first." Jesus said to him, "Assuredly I say to you that tax collectors and harlots enter the kingdom of heaven before you. For John came to you in the way of righteousness, and you did not believe him. But tax collectors and harlots believed him. And when you saw it, you did not afterward relent and believe him." Hear another parable. There was a certain landowner who planted a vineyard and set a hedge around it, dug a winepress in it, and built a tower. And then he leased it to wine dressers and went into a far country. Now when vintage time drew near, he sent the servants to the vine dressers, that they may receive its fruit. The vine dressers took his servants, beat one, killed one, and stoned another. Okay, I need you guys to lock in. This is a very, very important text. Everything is very important, but this is very relevant to what's going on in Israel right now. Here, lock in. Hear another parable. There was a certain landowner who planted a vineyard and set a hedge around it, dug a winepress in it, and built a tower. And he leased it to vine dressers and went to a far country. Now when vintage time drew near, he sent his servants to the vine dressers that they may receive its fruits. The vine dressers took his servants, beat one, killed one, and then stoned another. Again, he sent other servants more than the first, and they did likewise to them. They did the same exact thing. But when the vine dressers saw the son, they said among themselves, Then last of all, he sent his son to them, saying, They will respect my son. But when the vine dressers saw the son, they said amongst themselves, This is the heir. Come, let us kill him and seize his inheritance. So they took him and cast him out of the vineyard and killed him. Therefore, when the owner of the vineyard comes, what will he do to those vine dressers? They said to him, He will destroy those wicked men miserably and leave his vineyard to other vine dressers who will render to him the fruits in their season. Jesus said to him, Have you never read in the scriptures, the stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone? This was the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. Therefore I say to you, the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of God, will be taken from you and given to a nation bearing the fruits of it, the fruits of a Christian, the fruit of the Spirit. He's talking to the Jewish population right now. Therefore I say to you, the kingdom of God will be taken from you and given to a nation bearing the fruits of it. And whoever falls on this stone will be broken, but on whomever it falls, it will grind him to powder. Now when the chief priests and the Pharisees heard his parables, they perceived that he was speaking of them. But when they sought to lay hands on him, they feared the multitudes because they took him for a prophet. Guys, the current Israel right now, the claim that Israel was promised to them is not true. Did Jesus not just say in the context that therefore I say to you, just like you who have killed me, because he already knows what's going to happen to him, just like how you are going to kill me, and the owner of the vineyard sent his son and they killed him in order to gain his inheritance, you have now lost what was promised to you because you have deceived, you have betrayed him. Therefore, this promise of land is no longer yours, but to another nation. Who is the other nation? It's us. It's Christians. It's people who come to faith with Christ. Israel's claim to legitimacy, Israel's claim that God had promised them Israel, greater Israel or Israel or whatever it is false. It was taken from them before anything even started because God knew he would send Jesus and they would kill him because of their jealousy and their ineptitude to understand what stands in front of them. They killed their own Messiah who was coming to save them. And therefore, their claim, no legitimacy. Israel is no longer promised to them.